This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, friends. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Super excited to tell you that this episode is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets, and as always, they are handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years, and every week they're shipping out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use The Butcher Shop win, and they win often. You may not be a competitor, but you still have an eye for the finer cuts. Great news, The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged, Australian Wagyu, and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of their backyards. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, it is always handpicked for you. You might be saying, John, all that sounds great, but what about something different? I want to try something different. Rest easy knowing the Butcher Shop can get you an elk steak, maybe some ostrich. I don't even know what they can get you, but you can call them and find out, and I'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. But first, let's review. The best competition briskets? Check. The best pork selection? Check. Giving you better overall options to cook at home? Check. So give the Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You mentioned the BBQ Central Show, and they're going to give you 10% off your entire order each and every time you call. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wyvara 9 Plus briskets. And today, let's take a trip back to 2018, and Greg's going to catch up with one of my faves, Fast Eddie.
My next guest, one of the pellet cooker pioneers, creating the very popular FEC line of cookers. You might not know about him. This little fact, he's also an avid desert car racer. What? Pellets, fire, horsepower, all make sense to me. He's been appearing on this show when it was only in podcast form, if you can believe it or not, dating all the way back to 2007. Let's go ahead and race to the hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Fast Eddie Morin. Eddie, how are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing well. I'm feeling a little bit like I got too much hair to be as good looking as you and Chad. I got to do something about it, you know?
Oh, it's the too much hair blast. Okay, I see. I get it. But you can't beat our movie star good looks. So, you know.
No, I'm impressed. Yeah. I'm feeling out of touch here.
That's
definitely.
all right. All right. So, Eddie, you're still into this racing thing. What gives?
Oh man, you know, I'm getting old fast, and it's not an old man sport. So I gotta go pound on the old bones and as much as I can while I can still do it. But no, I'm living the dream now. You know, I did this as a kid and get to go back to it. And I got to race the Baja 1000 back in November in a trophy truck in this big super kill class, and we ran in actually legends. I was the oldest guy on the team. You had to be 50 or over to be on a driver. Wow. And we run second down there in that deal. But I was in the truck 17 hours that day to do my 400 miles. We had some issues. Just getting it to the finish was a struggle. So
is Fast Eddie in his height of barbecue as passionate about that as he is about desert racing, or are they mutually exclusive?
I would say I'm almost as passionate about that because, you know, you play to win, and my car, I won the last 3 races in my car, and I'm going out to the Mint 400 to defend my title next week with my very famous Larry Ragland car I restored. So you know, I'm feeling the age though. It's not that much time left, and I'm gonna have to start cooking pizza. I'm gonna get that start working that pizza oven more and quit messing with this desert racing so much.
Fast Eddie joining me here on the show. Ed, you know, you've been a long-time pellet believer, pellet promoter, maker of pellet cookers. You know, it wasn't that long ago that there really weren't nearly as many manufacturers as they are now. Being one of those pioneers in this portion of the industry, how are you viewing the segment as we sit current day, and what do you think from a growth perspective you see moving forward?
Well, there's no doubt this is the fastest growing segment of barbecue. I mean, it's taken market share from gas. It's taken market share from charcoal. People are finding out the convenience of it. Traeger, of course, with their the money and everything they've got behind them and all, is just killing it out there. And it's dragging the rest of us along with it, but it's amazing. I was just thinking about, when I first just talked to Chad about pellet fired stuff, and he was the typical guy, I don't know, is that a fad kind of thing? And now look at him today, it's but I remember talking to him, and just like all kinds of folks back in the day, and you get looked at like this stupid, crazy thing. And then there's all kinds of stories like that. People don't realize what they come along 25 years later. I mean, it was, and now people are finding out what it's really all about.
So aside from convenience, what do you think some of the biggest wins for somebody that's kind of teetering on the edge of going pellets versus something else?
Flavor and convenience, it's both there. And another thing too, families buy grills. The wives don't want to mess with this stuff. They want to go out and turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. And you can pretty much do that with most good pellet grills. I mean, there's still some out there that I think takes a little more maintenance than others. We like to pride ourselves in that ours is pretty maintenance free compared to a lot of them. The fuel's going to be what I'm really concerned about in the pellet grill industry is probably all the different brands of fuel coming on board. Mm-hmm. And some of it's not very well made and got a lot of ash content to it. We see it more than probably anybody else because all our customers run such a long time frame, and it does affect how the machines work when you start running 20 plus hours.
So how, from a consumer's standpoint, Ed, how do you tell right away that maybe you don't have a good batch of pellets?
Find out what Eddie had to say about bad pellets over at the BBQCentralShow.com. Link in today's show notes will take you to the complete episode. While you're over there, check out the search feature. The BBQCentralShow.com has an amazing search function. Do up a search, find yourself an old show, ask me to do a best moments for you. Custom made. Not new for 2023, but I'm going to say, hey, new for 2023, custom best moments show. Love to hear from you. Always, you can get a hold of me, John, John, at the BBQCentralShow.com. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I can't wait to talk to you again soon.